Hello and welcome to I've Seen Everything, where the name is ironic and the reactions are...
You're as stupid as you are ugly.
Yikes. Well, here we are with another episode, folks. Episode 2 of Batman the Caped Crusader, titled, And Be a Villain, ... and be a villain. The end to an unknown sentence that I'm sure we will discover over the course of this episode. First episode I felt was really good. We have a gender swap penguin who is very tall. A little bit of a different characterization of Alfred, a little bit of a different characterization of Barbara Gordon and Jim Gordon so far. Barbara Gordon in particular, that she's a lawyer in this version of the Batman universe. Please somebody tell me if there's any history for that. She's not Batgirl at this point. I'm presuming she will become Batgirl at some point. And we have a Batman and Bruce Wayne that we don't know a ton about yet as far as who he is specifically in this world, but it seems like if anything has been carried over from the original Batman the Animated Series, it seems like it's that. The character design is very similar. We unfortunately lost Kevin Conroy before they were able to do this show. It seems like they really found somebody to do a good version of that type of Batman voice. So I really feel good about where we are starting off here. And I have no idea what this episode's about, and I'm anxious to find out, so let's get going. But before we do, if you go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons down there, click the bell so you can see when I'm putting out new videos. And here we go with Batman the Caped Crusader, Season 1, Episode 2, And Be a Villain. Prime logo. Kind of crazy this isn't on Max. Alright, well that was just a little stinger. You just saw somebody get attacked, presumably.
Just write a check?
For what?
We've got a new police station already. Or maybe it's a different police station.
I thought a donation to the department, or I could make a check out to you.
It's Detective Montoya.
Bruce is really putting up the smoke screen. We got Rene Montoya for the first time.
You were the last person to see her. That's the only reason you're here.
Okay, so that woman was on a date with Bruce Wayne.
This is Lucius Fox, my lawyer.
They made Lucius a lawyer?
Get your things, Bruce.
Was Lucius a lawyer before?
Interviewing him at his estate.
I wasn't aware.
I didn't see what he did when he went past her coat. Did he put a tracker on her?
Detective Montoya's police work is sharp. He got angry when I offered her a bribe. She could be an asset.
This is, right here, this is the important part about this characterization. He's not even dressed as Batman, but it's him and Alfred, and this is his natural voice. This is who he is.
Alibis him, and honestly, I don't see.
Yeah, he put a bug on her.
We have a missing person, a very famous missing person, but still.
So a famous actor has gone missing. Basil Karloff. Basil Rathbone and Boris Karloff.
Normally I play the heavy who comes leering after her damsel in distress.
Yeah, well, more modeled after Boris Karloff, I think.
Just rumors that she was running with the wrong crowd.
Is Basil Karloff Clayface? I don't think so.
I have a meeting with Edmund Haynes.
I appreciate your time. I haven't seen her in months, huh?
Definitely pointing toward Basil Karloff. So if they're pointing toward him this early, it might be someone else. Yeah, I'd say it's probably not him.
Radio car and an ambulance?
And dude can jump. They're also starting in a different place with Rene Montoya too, and I like that. She's already like a senior detective or like well into her career.
Relax, Miss Francis. Mustn't ruin your makeup.
Come back here. Help!
I don't think that's the villain. I think that he works for the villain, maybe?
I was so sure Carlo was a suspect.
Carlo lied.
Carlo was acting suspicious.
You took a big risk making me a detective. I've let you down.
Not yet, you haven't.
Thankfully, they didn't try to make Rene Montoya corrupt.
Good morning.
Mr. District Attorney.
Are we going to see Harvey become Two-Face this season? Are we going to see Barbara Gordon become Batgirl?
Because after Election Day, you'll want to be on my good side, Renee.
I don't know how I feel about this Harvey Dent. The Harvey Dent persona was supposed to be kind of a good guy, and that was supposed to provide the contrast between him and his other side. I guess we'll see how they do that once he becomes Two-Face.
What? We got a fight pick supposed to start.
Oh, movie producer. Makes sense. I'm getting the sense this guy's next. I think he's going to get electrocuted. Yeah. We have some more gruesome deaths that are happening. I still think, hitting the pendulum. I still think that we had people die in Batman the Animated Series, but obviously you didn't see it quite as clearly as we've seen here.
Basil Karloff, one of the finest actors of our generation.
This is the leading man type actor, you can tell.
But he didn't have the right look.
This guy does, apparently.
I wouldn't believe everything you read. Let's just say she's not my type.
Are we going to find out that the beautiful leading man is the one who's actually behind all this?
He had it bad for her.
Okay. But then they both ended up, well, he ended up dead. She's not dead.
You should be a leading man, Basil.
If only I didn't look like this.
This is actually touching on a real thing that Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi and different people like that faced. They got typecast so much as villains because they had these dramatic looks that wouldn't lend to them being in leading man roles back then.
Ideal for certain parts.
But not the parts you wanted.
The prison of typecasting for certain people back in those days was very real.
I just need some time and some more money.
Anything, Jack. I need a miracle.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're going to find out that Basil Karlo is Clayface.
Your job is to act the way I direct.
London after midnight.
Run.
He kicks him out of the way and just very calmly, run. Takes quite a bit to shake Batman. And don't give him a sword. That's just stupid. It's the climactic scene of a 30s monster movie. Yeah, I don't think you killed Batman. Ooh, found a body.
Lou Valentine and the movie star Daryl Manning. Detective Montoya just interviewed Manning an hour ago.
So it is Clayface. It has to be. That's why he was acting so suspicious.
This is Flash. We're on the way.
Dispatch confirmed. Back up en route.
So they're just flat out not helping Montoya. One of these things, she's going to be left to do it on her own.
Some questions for you about Basil Karlo.
Something happened to Basil?
Mr. Karlo was murdered last night.
So is Elman just the doctor, or is he Clayface, essentially? Yeah, we're going to find out he's not actually dead.
This isn't Carlo.
So it's another body with a fake face on it?
I needed a place to continue my work.
The treatment you offered Karlo.
You heard about that.
It actually has Clay right there.
How did you find me?
It's what I do. You didn't make it easy.
All of the posters are versions of actual movies.
What about you? Hard or easy?
Yeah, she saw him pick it up. Oh, he's Clayface. We're about to find out what this version of Clayface is like.
Karlo?
Very good, Detective.
What did you do to your face?
I thought that was his name.
They said I could have played 1,000 parts if not for my face. I'm yours.
Get away from me.
She rejected me.
It's a little bit more of a tragic story. As I remember, the original Clayface already had somebody who loved him, or a wife, or something like that.
The Basil Karlo you found with a knife in his back was Jack Elman.
Oh, that makes sense.
Everything you've done, it's all about revenge?
Yeah, so we were right from the beginning. It was Basil Karlo from the beginning, which I would have known if I had remembered what Clayface's actual name was.
And I'm not finished yet. It was perfect casting all along. Villain is the part I was born to play.
This is also pointing heavily at Boris Karloff, it being The Pit and the Pendulum. I'm almost positive that was one of his movies.
I don't believe your performance. Relying on makeup effects to enhance weak characterization.
Was that her channeling that because she was scared and trying to distract him? Criticize an actor's performance and throw him off his game. That is going to be a problem. Gonna need to stop that blade somehow. I am liking that we have some more empowered women in this Batman show.
I really don't want to die here.
Yeah, we're getting real close. Boom, get off the table. You might be a great many things, Basil, but a fighter, I don't know. That's one of the downsides to having a face made of clay.
Damn it!
Batman has a great capacity just to vanish on you. That's how she finds out that he had her bugged.
I know you're still listening. We're not done, you and me.
I like what they're doing with her. I really do. All right, that's another one down. Well, let's go to the wrap-up. Well, I'm going to have to look up some things about the origins of Clayface. Is Basil Karlo his actual name? Did they make that up as a new name? I think that was his actual name, which if I had known that offhand, that would have been a dead giveaway about what was going on in the episode. So I'm kind of glad I didn't know. It left a little more mystery. But we're being introduced to all these villains. A different telling of the story to some degree, I think, than what they told in Batman the Animated Series. Was Clayface a villain that was created by Batman the Animated Series? Their telling of his story in that show was wonderful. I don't know if that's the first place we ever saw Clayface. Was he in the comics? Was he somewhere else before that? Batman the Animated Series did so many things, and I don't know if you have other examples of shows that just flat out created characters for the Batman universe that were so popular that they carried on beyond it, that they became canon in the comics and all of that. But again, not much different to say. We're still clipping along here. Good aesthetic, good storytelling. I noticed that we don't know a lot about our Batman yet, meaning it sounds odd. There's not a lot to know Bruce Wayne and Batman. We're getting introduced more to our other characters, to our villains, to our other protagonists, or our other people on the heroic side of things. Last episode it was more Barbara Gordon. This episode it was more Rene Montoya, which is great. I love both of their characterizations. I think that they've made really good choices there. I'm not saying I want them to go back and tell the origin story of Batman again. And also, so far, it kind of feels like other characters by way of Batman. Almost the way that if you look at a movie like Mad Max Fury Road, that movie didn't have a lot to do with Max. It had his name on the title, but it was more of a Furiosa movie. So it was almost more of a movie that used an existing character to introduce you to another character. And so far in these 2 episodes, I feel like Batman is just being used to introduce us to other characters. We're not spending a bunch of time with him, it doesn't feel like. And we're not going into the backstory and the development of this particular Batman. And as we're getting introduced to this world and these characters that surround Batman, I think that's fine. I think there's a reason to do it this way. I do hope we get to know our Batman a little bit more sometime in the near future. I'm looking forward to him meeting Gordon for the first time, because that's an important relationship in the Batman world between Commissioner Gordon and Batman. I can tell by the thumbnail here for the next episode that we get to meet Catwoman, so it'll be interesting to see their characterization of Catwoman for this universe. But I'm in so far. I'm enjoying it. I think they're striking a great tone. They're finding a great balance for this. I think this is making a lot of Batman the Animated Series fans happy, and I hope it's bringing in other viewers too, telling interesting stories that would bring in new viewers. That's it for this one. I appreciate you watching along with me. If you'd be so kind, please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons down there. Click the bell so you can see when I put out new videos, and we'll move on to the next one. I'll see you there. Take care.